is my Thunderbird, or my bearing block. Alright, here's my spindle. Now, this is the biggest crowd I've had today. So there's a saying amongst people who make fires like this that your likelihood of success is inversely proportional to the number of people watching. Okay. So hopefully I can
You know what helmets do?
have some success. So when you guys are making your fire, when you're getting your badge to do this, and you're making a bow drill fire, you're going to want to lock your wrist into your shin of your leg. If I've just got this thing sitting up here, I don't have a lot of stability when I start pulling back and forth. You'd have to have a super strong arm to keep that stable. So I'm going to use my body mechanics to help keep this stable. I'm locking my shin in, locking this little notch in my wrist, into my shin.
I have a quick question. Do you notch it first before you start? You start notching it first?
Actually, the first thing I do is I make a pilot hole,
Okay.
and then I see about how big that hole is going to be, and then I notch it because I want my notch to come into about like a little 1/8 pie slice
Okay.
into that hole.
Thank you.
And then, you know, sometimes mistakes happen, sometimes the board breaks. I try to figure out, okay, where was my mistake? Was it too thin? Was it too wide? If this notch isn't big enough, then I'm going to collect a lot of dust around the top here. That's not what I want. Yeah, so there's, you know, you just have to really be paying attention to all the potential mistakes you might be making. Now, up on the top here, this is my Thunderbird, and this is a piece of soapstone, and I've even carved it, you know, to fit my fingers so that it's really comfortable. If I'm going to make 20 or so fires in a day, I want to have everything working in my favor. And then there's a little bit of beeswax up on the top. All right, so beeswax there where I don't want friction up in here. No beeswax down in there, that would be the enemy of the fire.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I know you went to South Carolina all the time for some reason. That's
No.
what it was.
Smells like
Like,
smells like rotten
I'm going home, buddy. You have to go home.
Hot damn.
ham. You said rotten ham.
That's why people keep
Okay, still smoking, that's a good sign, but it's kind of trapped inside this little notch here, which means it's probably going to get oxygen starved if I don't get it out of there. This is not a huge coal, so I'm going to have to be kind of delicate. But you can see this stick is just a little bit shorter, and this hole is a little bit deeper now. So the material from this stick and that notch is now right down in there. And there's also some dust around the edge, so probably for this next one, I'm going to make this this notch a little deeper in here. I can let that rest for a second. It's getting some air. See it starting to turn a little bit red?
And I see the fire.
It's just a coal at this point. So this is one of the really delicate moments moving this thing. If it falls apart, or if I drop it, moving, I lost it. Yeah, I have to start all over. You want to be real careful moving that coal. Just have a little piece of leather, yep. Something to catch the coal. I don't want to burn this. This is a American bison hide, and I don't want to burn that. Okay, so it's still sitting there. It's setting up. It has already made contact with the with that cracked cap polypore. You see it starting to glow? I can actually just hold it up in here in the wind and let the wind do some of the work for me. You see it glowing?
Wow.
You guys see that?
All I see is
I've got to be careful not to. The last time I had the coal fall and run down, you know, get caught in my elbow. Alright, you see the wind when the wind catches that, you see it starting to glow? Look, there it goes. Here we go. That's how that works.
fire.